Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, May 13th, 2021. And I thought I'd talk a little Big Brother today. Big Brother USA. I'll also talk a little Big Brother Australia, a tiny bit of The Circle USA on Netflix. First off, Big Brother USA. This is what I know at this point. I have heard from people who have said they'd made the semifinals. Some of which people have not heard lately anything. Okay? Like, the casting went quiet. Remember, Robin Casting was the one has done Big Brother casting for years and years and years, and she is no longer doing it, so they have a different person doing the casting, or a different company, and that's the same group that did the casting for Big Brother Over the Top. They are not nearly as vocal about their process as Robin Casting has been of late, whereas at this point she might have said all semifinalists or all finalists have been notified, thank you for applying, kind of a thing. That hasn't been announced. There hasn't been any kind of public announcements on what's going on as far as the casting, so we're kind of dependent upon people saying, and they don't have to be necessarily true, you know, I made the finals, or I made the semifinals, and of course a lot of those people aren't going to say anything because they don't want to ruin their chances. So I have heard from a couple of people, 2 or 3 saying, you know, that they're in the process, or they were in the process. And so that's my best guess of what's going on. I also, I think that the casting process is still going on. I do think that in the next couple of weeks they're going to be making their final choices or getting it finalized. Of course, we know that last minute changes always or almost always happen. So even if you're in the running now, or you don't think you're in the running anymore, you never know. You could get a call. But I also think if you haven't heard anything at this point, the odds are slim. I mean, if they've gone kind of quiet on you, if the casting people, and you were in the process and they've gone quiet, your odds are slim. I do think if you have a good shot of doing it, you're probably getting ready to head out to LA to do kind of in-person stuff. But I have no direct information on that. That is just a guess on my part. So take that for what it's worth. What else? Oh, start date. So, lots of people came out the last few days with, you know, rumored start dates. Anything from, I think, June 15th was the earliest I saw. And so I reached out to my sources and said, hey, what have you heard? And they came back with July 7th as a start date. So that's the Wednesday. It's the Wednesday after the 4th of July. And they also said live, like live move-in kind of a thing, which is, of course, what they did last year. But we didn't necessarily know if they do this year. I didn't even think about it I didn't even think about the possibility of a live move-in until I got the thing that, you know, it's a live move-in, or it was implied. So, assuming that's accurate, okay, interesting. I'm assuming it's not going to be all-stars. I'm assuming it's going to be hopefully an all-new cast. And that'll be interesting and potentially good and also potentially bad. I did not like the way the live move-in went last time, where they immediately competed for a head of household. And frankly, it seemed like the competitions were skewed to favor the guys, actually, as I recall. So, who knows? We'll have to see. That's, at this point, almost over 2 months away, right? We got May to June, June to July. Some people are not happy that it's that far in the future, but really up until, I don't remember when it was. It's been longer than I think, but for a longest time, the show did not start until July. We didn't have these June starts. As a matter of fact, when they moved to June, it was like, really? That much earlier? That was when we started hitting these really long seasons, these 100-day seasons, and it was like, oh my gosh. As it is, my math shows with the finale late September, September 29th is what I heard. That puts it at 85 days. So that's not a short season. Some Big Brother seasons were in the 70s, and they may have been in one or two in the 60s. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But I know 70s used to be kind of the length. So 85 is not a short season, but it's also not a 100-day. It's 2 weeks less than a 100-day season, and I'm fine with that. And, late September, that was the thing. It was started very early July and go to early September, early or mid-September. This is late September that it's going to. So, yeah, we'll see. So that's my Big Brother USA news. Touch on Circle, Netflix Circle. It's no spoilers here, by the way. I happened to pop on Netflix last night, and those of you that haven't watched the Circle, the Netflix Circle, hey, it's a good show. I enjoyed it. I would watch season 1 first, although it's not critically important. I can't remember if they ever spoiled the winner on season 2, but season 1 is 12 episodes. Season 2 is 13 episodes, and I'd almost say 14 now, only because they had I guess David Spade has some kind of Netflix after show or something. I was not aware of it, but it popped up on my Netflix when I turned it on last night, and so I watched 6 of the former house people, apartment dwellers, whatever you want, Circle contestants, talk with a couple of people, as well as David Spade. It was fairly light stuff. There wasn't any super heavy stuff. 2 of the people were in person. 4 of them were remoted in. I didn't gain a whole lot of inside information or knowledge, but it was fun to see him again and see him talking. Like a half an hour. So if you enjoyed The Circle, you might pop back onto Netflix and look for that. Chances are they'll throw it at you as soon as you log in, because they know you've watched The Circle. I don't think it's a part of The Circle proper. If you went to The Circle and looked for it, I don't think you'll see it there. But I don't spend that much time figuring out how Netflix works. I just go there and look for something and watch it. I don't know the intricacies of the search engine or how it decides what to give you as suggestions. I know it's frustrating sometimes, that stuff they suggest. I also hate the previews. I don't want to see the previews unless I want to, and I hate that it throws them at me. All right, that's my Netflix talk. One more topic, which was Big Brother Australia. You know what? I'm going to say potential spoilers here for anyone who has not watched it. I think we're up to about episode... This may have been episode 13 or episode 11 or 12, somewhere in there. I don't know. No, I think it's 11. It's season 13. Yeah, so I don't know how the scheduling of this show is strange. I think the first week they did 3 episodes. The second week they did 4 episodes. And this week I think was 3 again? That doesn't make it 11. So maybe it was 4, and now this was 3. I'm not sure. I just know that the next week, the first episode is on Monday. So... yeah, it's just, the U.S. was so used to very, very formulaic programming that is a regular, same time, same channel every week. And other countries like Australia and Canada Australia and the U.K. seem to shuffle them around a lot. At least change them up a bit. And so they may be shortening it just because they got people hooked and now they can go back off from 4 episodes, but I just know next week's first episode is on Monday. And yesterday was the last episode for this week. So they kind of just pile them on like 3 or 4 in a row, and then you're kind of sitting there going, wait, but all right, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I still prefer Big Brother original style with the public vote. I've always loved the Australia version with those criteria. But they canceled it, and so this is the version that came back with USA-inspired rules, but tweaked in a way that is enjoyable and all pre-recorded, which it works for this purpose. But it also has there's all kinds of reasons to go like, I enjoy the storytelling. I said last week, Big Brother Australia is the most fixed Big Brother program you're going to watch. It is completely, in my opinion, determined by producers who's going to do what, how it's going to fare, what's going to happen. They will throw twists that are needed to keep the interesting people around, or at least keep your head spinning so you don't see twists and turns coming. It's done well, but I don't watch it thinking that it's a totally even level playing field for all the people playing. I really think it's a producer's favorite. Keep the stars around as long as you can. Keep the most interesting people in there, which is fine, and that's the whole purpose of the public vote, because the boring people get voted out. But this is not a public vote, this is a self-vote, and any of those people would be dumb to keep the strongest players around, even though they all like to say, I need a big shield. Well, at some point you have to get rid of that big shield. And so, again, potential spoilers here, and a matter of fact, there will be spoilers, but I only got... Oh, no, I won't spoil. Let's just say that this week things heated up, and yes, slight spoiler, there's two big alliances in the house, and that all came to a head this week, these last few episodes, and those alliances were kind of broken up in a way. So that's a major shift in the gameplay, and it'll turn out next week. I'm sure we'll see things differently, for better or for worse, I guess. But that's it, guys. I've arrived at work, so I'm going to go, and I hope you have a good day, and stay safe, and all that yada yada. Get vaccinated if you haven't. Yes, I think you should. I did read an article today. Let's get on the vaccination thing a little bit. An Axios article that said that 99.7% of current COVID hospital cases are for people that weren't vaccinated. Meaning that if you got vaccinated, odds are pretty slim you're going to end up in the hospital. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not going to disown people who don't, but I think it's a smart thing to do. All right, that's your public service message about vaccinations. And with that, I hope everybody in Canada gets their vaccines too. I've got lots of Canadian friends, and it just sucks that they don't have the access that we have here. Anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, as a matter of fact. I really hope that this government, the U.S., starts sharing its excess vaccines with the rest of the world. That would be a good thing to do. And with that, I'm going to put on my mask and walk into work. Have a good weekend, everybody. I'm only doing about one a week of these, so I don't anticipate I'll be back tomorrow. But thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging around and listening to the commercials at the end if you do. It's appreciated. And hope you have a good rest of your day. See ya. Bye-bye.